can't hear you. Yes, Siddham, what is the story of the window, Prachi? He told? Very nice, good. And yes, so what was so strange that even on this day the window was open? Yes, Vedanti? 3 years ago, yes.
Her husband and her two brothers went for hunting outside from this window, but unfortunately, what came into the red box and the thing was that the dead bodies of the
Yes, of the men it was not found. Okay. And now, yes, the little girl, right? So the young lady, 15-year-old, she's told the story that why this window is open, even though it's October, although this year it is a little warmer. Otherwise, October evenings, they would be quite cold, right? So the window is open because the lady of the house, she keeps on waiting for the 3 men who went out hunting along with the dog. And it had been exceptionally rainy that year. And what had happened? The bog was very wet, and they thought they would cross it or they would go, beside it. But they got stuck and drowned, and even their dead bodies were not recovered. Okay, right? And this man has come to relax there. So do you think after hearing such a horror story, he'll be able to relax?
No.
Will he feel better or even more nervous? He'll feel even more nervous. Okay, so he's not going to relax. And now, yes, the lady of the house, she's come and she's going to tell her story. Let's see. She broke off with a little shudder. The second part we were reading?
Yes.
First part we have read. Yes, so she broke off with a little shudder. It was a relief to Frampton when the aunt bustled into the room with a whirl of apologies for being late in making her appearance. So in the end, we're going to find out that it was very unfortunate that the lady was a little late. So had she been already there, many things would have been sorted out, or things would have been much better. So the lady came, she's very sorry that I'm a little late. I had to make you wait. I hope Vera has been amusing you. What is so ironic over here? She's saying she's been amusing you. Amusing means to make you happy, entertain you, and like say nice things to you. That is what you say when guests come to your house. You say nice things, so you tell them that be careful, there's a ghost under the sofa. Is it? You say that? You say that? Have you ever tried it? Right? Or you say, yeah, I've got these snacks for you, but they're very spicy. You can eat them if you want to. You say that? I like that. No way, a very good host when someone comes, we make them feel happy and comfortable, right? So here, I hope Vera has been amusing you. Please underline this line. I hope Vera has been amusing you. Was she amusing him? Was she making him feel comfortable, happy? No, she was scaring him. Right? Yes, correct? Yes, by a horror story. Or was she telling the truth? We're going to find out. She has been very interesting, said Frampton. I hope you don't mind the open window, said Mrs. Sappleton briskly. My husband and brothers will be home directly from shooting, and they always come in this way. Same thing she's saying, right? So it means that, okay, the girl was telling the truth. They've been out for snipe in the marshes today. They're hunting, so they'll make a fine mess over my poor carpets. So like you men folk, isn't it? She's complaining that they're going to come all wet and muddy and dirty. I don't want them dirtying my carpet, so I have kept this French window open so they can enter from this, right? She rattled on cheerfully about the shooting and the scarcity of birds and the prospects for duck in the winter. To Frampton, it was all purely horrible. Was he enjoying what she was saying? How was he feeling? Horror. He was really very scared that there's something wrong with this lady. He's come to cool his nerves, but he's met someone even more. What? Nervous than him? Yes? Right? There's something wrong with her. That is what he's thinking. He made a desperate but only partially successful effort to turn the talk onto a less ghastly topic. Let's change the topic. Let's talk about something pleasant. But no, he was conscious that his hostess was giving him only a fragment of her attention. She was not paying him much attention, fragment of her attention, little of her attention, right? She's not giving him, where is her attention? Where is her attention? Outside they are looking at the window. And her eyes were constantly straying past him to the open window and the lawn beyond. Like when you're waiting for someone, isn't it? So you keep on looking at the gate, you keep on looking at the door, and you just keep on waiting for the bell to ring. You're not able to concentrate in anything else. It was certainly an unfortunate coincidence that he should have paid his visit on this tragic anniversary. Underline this line. It was certainly an unfortunate coincidence that he should have paid his visit on this tragic anniversary. Anniversary of what? What anniversary? When this tragedy, what was the tragedy? Anniversary is, yes, that day, particular day, when this incident happened, when these men, they went out shooting and they never returned. Tragic is something sad, okay? The doctors agree in ordering the complete rest, an absence of mental excitement, and avoidance of anything in the nature of violent physical exercise. So what has the doctor told him? How will you be able to relax? You don't need tension, you don't need to be excited, and don't exert yourself, right? So you don't need so much of physical exercise. Announced Frampton, who labored under the terribly widespread delusion that total strangers and chance acquaintances are hungry for the last detail of one's ailment and infirmities, their cause and cure. Who's Frampton? Who's Frampton? Is a visitor or the host? Visitor, yes. And he was talking, delusion means he's under this false impression that total strangers and chance, like sometimes you meet people, what do you discuss with strangers? People you met for the first time, what are the things that you talk about generally? Will you start talking about your family, your personal problems, or anything? What else do you talk about then? Yes? Hobbies? Okay. What else do you talk about with strangers, people you met for the first time? Generally, people start discussing the weather. Yes? Right? They start discussing about the condition of the city, right? And if people are there, they might start discussing politics and sports. Yes? Right? Talk about T20, is it? Yes, ma'am. Right? And so this is what he thought, that people like listening to your health issues. Do you like listening to people telling about their health issues? No, it does not, of course. But yes, out of good manners, we have to listen to. But sometimes when people go into the same thing again and again, then it becomes a little bit of a problem. So he thought that this is what I can talk about. For the least detail of one's ailments, the problems, infirmities, once again, the problems, the diseases and the problems they have. They cause and cure. What happened to me, what medicine I took, how I became better. On the matter of diet, they are not so much in agreement, he continued. So Frampton is telling about his problem because he wants to change the topic. He does not want to talk about what she is discussing again and again. And maybe like he wants her to feel better, not think about the tragedy that happened. Okay? No, said Mrs. Sappleton in a voice which only replaced a yawn at the last moment. So she's not listening even what he's saying. Then she suddenly brightened into alert attention, but not to what Frampton was saying. So she, a minute, like she was very lazy and not attentive. And all of a sudden she was sitting, attention. Here they are at last, she cried. Just in time for tea. And don't they look as if they were muddy up to the eyes? So who is she seeing? The men coming right back home, and they're in time for tea, and they look very, very muddy. And yes, because they've been hunting out. Frampton shivered slightly and turned towards the niece with a look intended to convey sympathetic comprehension. Sad, very sad. He's looking that way. Oh my God, there's something wrong with this lady, right? The child was staring out through the open window with a dazed horror in her eyes. So even the child is looking there. Horror, scared, right? The way she's looking out the window as if she's something very terrible. In a chill shock of nameless fear, Frampton swung round in his seat and looked in the same direction. So when the lady said that, okay, they've come in time for tea, he looked at the young girl like understanding, okay, that she has a problem. But the girl was looking out in horror, right, at the window. He also looked in the same direction. And what did he see? In the deepening twilight, three figures were walking across the lawn towards the window. It's getting dark, and you could see three people coming. Let's see. They all carried guns under their arms. And one of them was additionally burdened with a white coat hung over his shoulders. What did the girl describe? How did they leave? One of them had a coat, yes, a waterproof coat, and they had all gone hunting and they never came back. But now they can see them coming back. Okay? A tired brown spaniel kept close at their heels. The dog also with them. He's tired, exhausted the whole day. Yes, sir. Of hunting, and then noiselessly they neared the house, and then a hoarse young voice chanted out of the dusk. Hoarse, rough. I say, Bertie, why do you bound? Where are you running? And of course, three people coming, that was okay, fine, but then talking also. Right, so already this man is very scared what this girl had told him about those three men going and disappearing, and it's been 3 years, and today on the 3rd anniversary they've come back, right? So he's very shocked, very scared. In fact, yeah, anybody would be scared. Should we continue the next part? Let's read that first, then we'll come to the questions. Frampton grabbed wildly at a stick and hat. The hall door, the gravel drive, and the front gate were dimly noted stages in his headlong retreat. What did he do? He just caught hold of his stick and ran outside. So he didn't notice much what he saw on the way. What all? The hall door, the gravel drive, the front gate were dimly noted stages in his headlong retreat. Retreat means going back. Headlong. Very fast, quickly just rushed out of the room. A cyclist coming along the road had to run into the hedge to avoid imminent collision. So he was running so fast that the cyclist was coming from the opposite direction, and he just had to, he went into the hedge. Otherwise, he would have collided with the cyclist. Okay, so what has Frampton done? What has he done? He's ran away very hastily. Here we are, my dear, said the bearer of the white mackintosh, the white coat was carrying, coming in through the window. Who was that who bolted out as we came up? Bolted out? Ran away? A most extraordinary man, a Mr. Nuttall, said Mrs. Sappleton. He could only talk about his illnesses and dashed off without a word of goodbye or apology when you arrived. One would think he had seen a ghost. Underline this also. One would think he had seen a ghost. So he's wondering, right? And Mrs. Sappleton also, that this man here doesn't have any manners. He's gone off without saying goodbye or sorry or thank you, whatever. And it seems as if he saw a ghost. The way he ran out. I expect it was the spaniel, said the niece calmly. The niece is very calm. Not least concerned what I have done or what I have said. She said maybe it was a dog. He told me he had a horror of dogs. He was once hunted into a cemetery somewhere on the banks of the Ganges by a pack of dogs and had to spend the night in a newly dug grave with the creatures snarling and grinning and foaming just above him. Enough to make anyone lose their nerve. Romance at short notice was her specialty. The girl has made another story. Which of these two stories was real? Both were lies? What was true about the first story? Not like this, not like this. One at a time. Yes, Ribha?
One of the boy was taking white food.
That was only true part. What else was true? Yes, Jayan, yes.
Yeah.
What was the true part about the first story? Yes, last over there. Sayam?
Yes.
Everything was true about the first story, right? And that she had said it gone out hunting, right? And of course, it never came back. So everything was true. Or what was the lie? That this incident happened 3 years ago. And they had never come back. These are the lies, but otherwise everything else was true. What about the second story? What do you think it was? It was true or a lie? Lie. And of course, yes, she said that he's scared of this dog, and Spaniel is not a very big dog. Okay, Spaniel is not a very big dog. And he said that he had a horror of dog because what had happened once, he was hunted by these dogs and he spent the night in a cemetery. What's a cemetery? A graveyard, right? And there was a newly dug grave and he sat there the whole night because the dogs were there snarling around him. Okay, so that's why he has a horror of dogs. Okay, so romance at short notice was her specialty. Romance as in, yes, telling all these kind of stories. Fine. Yes. So is this a mystery or is it a horror? What do you call this? It's a mystery? Yes. What is mysterious about it? Many things. The second part. Yes. And of course, here, once again, it is the timing of the story. Right? Do you think the way she told the story and the timing of the story, that see, and like exactly at that moment or within short time, the men they came back, right? And of course, it was more proof that she is telling the truth. And it seemed as if the lady was welcoming the ghosts back, the way she was behaving, right? So having ghosts in that house, it seemed as if it was quite common. Okay. Yes. And the second story, what do you think it is? Plainly a lie. It's a completely made up story. Okay. So she's made up the first one. It could be that she's made up the second one and she's made up the first story also. Now I have made you underline a few lines. Now, do you know what is irony? What is irony? Yes, irony is like generally what we know, right, or what we expect, and the opposite of that happening. Isn't it? That is irony. Here in this story, like we have, it is all dramatic irony. Right? So what are the lines here? Let's go back to those lines. Which lines have we underlined? Like he's saying that she's been telling an amusing story. What is ironical about it? Was she telling an amusing story? Horror. She was telling a horror story. Then next was? I can't hear you. One person. Can you speak?
Because suddenly an unfortunate coincidence that Dean should have paid his visit on the tragic.
Yes. So was it the anniversary? It wasn't the anniversary. It was, like, yes, something that had happened, or maybe something that happened almost every day a week, right? So it was, yes, so he believed it was the anniversary, but was it the anniversary? No. Then last line, what was it? One would think he had seen a ghost. What is ironic about it? We know he thinks he has seen a ghost, right? And what the lady is saying, is it true or false? It's false, but we know that he thinks he has seen a ghost because the whole setting and the whole background has been such, right, that the person is so shocked to see that, oh my God, that means this lady is what? It's a little crazy, little eccentric. She can see ghosts. Yes. Imagination से भी अपने picture आ जाती, कैसे आ जाती? Hallucinations, तो तुम्हारे hallucination others can also see. फिर, if the lady was hallucinating, how did the man see? No, isn't it? Okay, so right, yes. Any doubts? So which phrases or sentences in the text do you find difficult to understand? Select a few and guess the meaning of each. So the first page, I think so. Is it okay? Do you need to read it again and understand it? Now that we've read the story, that is also clear, isn't it? So what is the first page here? What is the first page about? What is the first page about of this story? Who's Mr. Nuttall? He's the guest, right? And he's come to inquire about, yes, about living there. He wants to feel better. He's going through a very bad phase and he wants to relax over there. Yes. And what has he brought with him? What has he brought with him to show to the lady? Letters of introduction. Who has given those letters? His sister. And how long was it since his sister had been there? 4 years. And this incident that we are talking about, it happened very conveniently. How many years? 3 years. See, that girl is so attentive that she has made the detail also, right? So if he goes and discusses with his sister, so she'll see that maybe this is something that has happened after I left. So not 4 years old or 5 years old. It is very conveniently 3 years ago this incident happened. Okay, right. So let's come to the questions. You'll have to do a little hurriedly here because you have to complete your notebooks also. Why had Frampton Nuttall come to the rural retreat? Yes. Yes, yes. No, you can write more also. You can write until you feel I have not given a proper explanation. So why had he come to the rural retreat? Because he had yes, some health issues and he was suffering from anxiety, and he come to the rural retreat on the reference of his. Who had given the reference? His sister. Why had his sister given him letters of introduction to people living there? Why had she given? Because she had lived there, right? And she knew some people over there. And so it would be easier for him to,
not know anyone there.
yes, to manage and to find. Right. What had happened to the Sapperton family? What had happened in the Sapperton family as narrated by the niece? What had happened? So all this whole story that you're going to talk about. Yes, so a big tragedy had happened and the men had gone hunting. They never came back. Yes, yes. For? Bilkul, yes, because in the story she has said that 3 years ago, and that day coincidentally happened to be the 3rd anniversary. Right, yes, sir. Now next, come. What did Mrs. Sapperton say about the open window? Why she kept the window open? So that, oh my God, I understood everything. Each one of you like talking together. It's so easy to understand. Can one person say, Kashish? Yes.
Mrs. Sapperton said about the window open one window that his husband and two brothers are coming and they will be dirty. They are dirty, so he will be coming.
So they enter through the window. Yes. And one dog. Yes. Please don't miss this little detail. Karan has given very nice detail. Right? The horror on the girl's face made Frampton swing around in his seat. What did he see? Yes, Ramjot? I don't think so. You need to look at the book. Tell me without looking at the book.
He saw that from the window carrying the guns and
Yes, so they were carrying the guns, and one of them had the white coat hung over, and there was a dog also accompanying them. So why was that horror on his on the girl's face? It was exactly same. Do you think the girl was also surprised that this happened? Why was that horror on her face?
She was just acting.
So she was acting, right? Yes, that's very scary. Do you think she made up this story so that man would not stay there? Yes?
Yes.
Or do you think it was a nature to tell stories? What was the second story? It was a nature, yeah. So she loved to make up stories. Yes, so and she makes good stories to explain everybody's behavior here. Let's see here. Now, why did Frampton rush out wildly? Why did he rush out wildly? Yes, yes.
Frampton ran out wildly because he thought that he had seen a ghost and he started believing on the art.
Yes, so he believes the girl's story and he thought that yes, the ghosts are really coming, right? And he can see those ghosts. So he was so scared. What was the girl's explanation for his lightning exit? Rushing out, lightning, and hastily. All these words, what do they tell? How did he leave? Aram se. He left in a hurry. Yes, was not given an answer. Yes, Prabhu.
Because the girl told that the Frampton was afraid of dogs as he was attacked by the dogs.
Yes, because he had been attacked by dogs and he had a fear of dogs. Okay, fine, nice. So which, yes? Done, we've done the questions? Yes, so we can do some more also? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, so we'll do, would you like to write a horror story? You've written it? Okay. Then we don't like incomplete stories. We want the full story. You complete it and then of course you can read out the story. Now, what do you think? Yes, so when you tell a horror story, what makes it more scary? Suspense? Expressions, exactly, Anshika. If I keep on laughing while telling the story, will I be able to scare people? Tone, suspense has to be there. Like, and how can you create that suspense? If you're telling a horror story, you want to create suspense. How will you create that suspense? Yeah, very nice. We gave special effects also, right? Yes. No, we don't have special effects. We don't have background music. I don't have a skeleton in the cupboard also, right? To scare someone. How do I create that horror? How do I create that suspense? Of course, expressions are very important, right? The pauses that you take and the way you speak, isn't it? Right? So how will you tell a horror story? Very fast or slowly? And you wait, is that person scared?
Yes.
Then I'll continue. Otherwise, I'll add a few more ghosts and things, right? To make that person actually scared, right? You can give a boom also, probably in saying that. You make a sound effect also, right? Oh, big grown-ups we have over here. Yes, Karan is a big person. with nice expression. Yes, exactly. That is the way of telling the story, right? Expressions and all. And do you think it is only for horror story or is for all stories? All stories, expression is there, very, very important. So we will see that. We'll write a horror story. But yeah, so first we'll just any horror story that you have read. Okay, definitely. We're waiting for that surprise. Karan will definitely hear your story. Okay. Yes. So, who likes horror stories? Who watches horror movies?
Ma'am,
Wow, brave people.
in 1921, मैम मैं इंग्लिश
Okay.
मूवी जा रही थी तो मैम हॉरर जा रहा होती मैम
Yeah, with the subtitles, it seems so. Yes.